hello, everybody. Oh, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Friday. I'm drinking a lovely homemade lemon water. It's joyful, it's joyous, it's amazing, it's of God. Let me see who all is here tonight. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear, and hopefully y'all can see everything on the screen. You'll see my TV and the chat, hopefully. All right, we got Impeccable, we got Chris, we got BLT Honey, we got Rashawn, we got Mr. Mushroom, Bryant, Mistress Kathy. We got Berg, we got Kyle, we got Lion, we got S-Baby, we got Seabiscuit, we've got Daniel, Nicole, Sherry. Y'all, we've got so many people tonight. It's so wonderful to see all of y'all. Well, and to, I was going to say see and hear you, but I don't hear you. But it's like I do. It's like I have all of y'all inside my head, and I hear all of y'all at one time. Hello, everybody. Make sure you like the video. And that's right. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. There's 2 lives tonight. So this first live is going to be like my normal live. We're going to watch some of these public domain videos that I've found on the internet. And then later at 10 o'clock in 2 hours, I will be going live watching the Paris Hilton documentary, since so many people wanted me to do it. And I will be bringing you into my living room, and while I watch it on the television, and then we'll do a countdown together, and I'll give y'all the link, because guess what? Her documentary is on YouTube, free for the world, and we'll push play at the same time, and we'll watch it together, girls. So you'll bring your own copy, which everybody's got a copy because it's free, because it's on YouTube. But anyways, let's get this party started and see what this video is. I hope everybody is doing so well tonight. Oh, Sandy, you're a new subscriber. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you so much. Impeccable, I am drinking a lemon water tonight. I've got 3 packets of the True Lemon and a huge, 70-ounce glass I got from the Taco Bell in the 90s, back when they gave you large in charge drinks back then. I think it was like $40 for this 70-ounce Taco Bell cup, and then it was like unlimited refills for the life of the cup. But when I bring it into the Taco Bell now, nobody wants me to get a refill. They tell me to leave. I don't know what's up with that. All right, girls, we are going to start this. Let me just turn this music down, and let's get this party started. Hope y'all are doing good tonight. Best that we can do, right? Okay, we got a school bus. Hey, oh my Lord. Did everybody look like Jeffrey Dahmer back then? Yes, everybody put your mask on and bring a hot dog. Oh, Lord, this ain't a good sign, y'all. This is not a good sign. Oh, I like those shoes.
Sometimes the best way to keep from getting hurt in a school bus is to get out of the bus.
True.
This can happen if the bus stalls in a dangerous spot, like on a railroad track.
You know, I always park my school bus on the train tracks in Grand Theft Auto.
Or in heavy traffic. Or if there's danger of a fire.
Oh, my Lord. Is it a fire? Because back then you could smoke on the school bus. Y'all remember that? I remember going into school and the teacher smoking on the school bus. Wasn't no big deal. So is it a fire, or is someone just lighting one up?
To be able to get out of the bus in case of a real emergency, you have to practice.
Real emergency.
By doing what's called a school bus evacuation drill. Practicing, you learn how to stay calm.
Let's go.
Okay.
The fastest way to get out of a bus quickly is to walk.
Why is everybody talking very ASMR? You know what I'm saying? Why is she talking like this at a school bus training video?
Quietly, so you can hear instructions.
Your turn. Now your turn.
The person in charge is always...
Listen, if that thing's on fire, I don't care if I'm in the back. I'm going first. I'm older, and I'm not getting burned. The young kids, they'll survive.
The school bus
If
driver.
I get burnt, y'all, it's over for me. Look, I barely got a body. I mean, come on, y'all. Can y'all imagine this face burn?
He or she decides which is the safest way to get out of the bus.
Everybody's got good hair, though. You notice that back then, everybody had Farrah Fawcett hair.
There are 3 common choices. A front door exit, a rear door exit,
Are we talking about the school bus, or are we talking about James Charles? I'm confused.
and a combination of front and rear doors at the same time.
Okay, we are talking about James Charles. Yeah.
Here's how to practice using the front door exit.
Okay, we're going to do an emergency evacuation drill using the front door.
Okay, first and foremost, let's rewind this. Okay, all of you girls that took public transportation school buses back in the day like I did, the bus driver was never this nice. Like, she would smoke probably about 2 packs of cigarettes and cuss everybody out and drink coffee, and she'd stay on the radio talking to her other bus driver girlfriends. So, honey, this is already not believable.
Please.
Hello, Linda.
Evacuations through the front door call for a helper.
Helper, if you would stand by the front door and assist anybody.
A helper? Honey, if that thing's radiated, I'm getting away from here, helper or not.
Coming out.
And a leader.
Leader, if you would form a single file line and take
And those pants, honey. Things a little too tight, honey. You've been cheating on your diet.
the students to the bush over there by the school.
Usually 2 of the older students on the bus.
Okay. Your turn. All right.
Okay, so when there's a fire, if the fire's in the back of the bus, he's going to literally walk himself back to the fire. Wouldn't you want to get the kids that are on fire out of the bus first? I'm confused.
Next, the driver releases.
This is why in school, y'all, they always kicked me out of the class when we had a training video because I was always throwing up the what ifs, and the teacher would say, "Listen, Deborah, stop this. No, honey, a moose is not going to come into the cafeteria and start attacking children. Why are you bringing that up, Deborah?"
The students 1 seat at a time and instructs them to follow
Hello,
the leader.
Candy.
He starts at the front of the bus and works his way
Okay,
toward the
hello,
rear.
honey.
He lets one side of the aisle go and then the other.
Teresa.
Now this seat. Don't walk.
Don't walk. Did he? I think he meant to say don't run.
Okay, here.
You shouldn't try to take your lunch or jacket or books with you.
Huh, tell me that to the kids nowadays. They got them Jeffrey Store pallets, and they're taking them.
Leave them on the seat.
That thing's worth like $30,000 on eBay now, honey. Grab that lunchbox.
Okay.
Grab it.
After the last row is
I would've
gone, the
grabbed
driver
it.
double checks to make sure everybody is out of the bus.
Honey, if everybody took this out and got that bus, I'm sorry, but it ain't going in well. It just ain't.
That was real smooth. Good.
With practice, you should be able to do a drill like this
Great bang.
without the driver. In a real emergency, he may not be able to help.
Hello, Arlene,
Sometimes it
honey.
may be necessary to evacuate a
Oh, honey, evacuate that shirt. What are you wearing? It looks like she went fishing or something in a pond and got all the pebbles and said, "Turn this into a dress, honey."
school bus through the rear emergency exit.
Evacuation drill out the back door. And
Out the back door, please. Out the back door. The fire's in the front.
Because of an accident or fire at the front of the bus.
Honey, that is sin right there. That is the lady she lives in. If you're not following the word of God, she's going to say you're a sin cupcake girl, okay? That's a man, baby. That's right, Trish.
turn.
The rear door drill calls for 2 helpers and a leader.
Go out the emergency door and take your
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't trust him. He looks like he's a bully in school. Look at him. He's like, I'm going to push that kid right into the fire. He's probably the one that started the fire, y'all.
positions.
In the rear door drill, the driver stays.
I don't trust anybody with bell bottoms. They got bell bottoms on? I don't trust you. There's something ain't right. And then who's going to wear bell bottoms when they're always going to trip over them? Tell me it's not true, because I remember when I wore bell bottoms back in the day, and honey, I always tripped over them. Ain't nobody needs mini skirts or skirts on their legs.
next to the exit to prevent pushing or shoving.
Single file to the flagpole.
La Lily.
Now we'll leave the bus one
Y'all push her down. Just push her out of the way, honey.
row at a time.
Again,
She really does not look like she's going to remember what to do when there's an emergency.
you leave your seats one row at a time, starting at the back of the bus. First one side of the aisle,
Doesn't she sort of favor like a Pixar character? I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean?
then the other. It's a long way to the ground from the rear door of a school bus.
Hands on
It is. That is true. I remember jumping out of the back of the bus, but it wasn't because it was on fire.
You should crouch in the doorway so you don't bump your head,
watch your head.
and place your hands on the shoulders of the helpers.
Oh, I remember that.
The helpers
Doing the
stand
arm
facing each other,
thing.
one on each side of the door.
Watch your
Land on the
They're not even help. Okay, the little kids are the ones that need help. Look at that.
balls of your feet, and bend your knees.
Watch your head. And your
Are they in another world? What's going on? Hello, just me, honey.
head.
Natalie,
Then follow the other to a
hello.
safe place away from the
Natalie says, hello, people. I'm the school bus driver. Hello, Natalie.
The quickest way to evacuate a
Oh,
school bus
Lord,
is through both the
run!
front and the rear doors at the same time.
And the
But
sign.
it takes more practice.
What about the sign?
Okay, we're going to have an emergency evacuation drill using both the front
He sounds so excited about it.
door and the rear door.
For this
Please
drill, the bus
stay in
is
your seat
divided in
until it's your
half.
turn to go.
Some schools mark their buses with a line.
Rashawn says, I've driven a bus full of kids when I was a camp counselor. Well, it ain't. Oh, honey, I can't drive anything but my car. If I drive a bus, honey, it's not going to end well. If y'all seen me drive on that GTA, honey, it's over.
Everyone forward of the line.
Everybody better get life insurance and good policies and insurance policies. I'm telling you, because it's not going to end well.
Will use the front exit. Everyone back of here will use the rear exit. Helper, if you'll stand by the door and assist students coming out. Leader, if you'll
Helpers
form
and
a single
leaders
file
are
line,
needed at
take the
each
students
door
She's like, really? Look at her. She does not want to do this. She's like, really?
for this
over there
drill.
by the
How much are they paying you, honey?
building. Students in front, if you'll follow the leader.
As soon as the students in the front half of the bus have started, the driver moves to the rear door.
Helpers, if you'll open
Oh, my Lord, I remember that scene, Arlene, in the Freddy Krueger. Yeah, where Freddy's the bus driver.
the emergency door and get on the ground, get ready to assist anybody. Leader, if you'll form a single file line, take
Oh, it's Barb from Stranger Things, honey.
the students over to the flagpole. You know, crouch down as you go out the door.
Okay.
The back half of the bus
Oh, he touched his eye. That's not good. All those kids in there, no mask. Honey, you're going to get an infection.
evacuates the same as in the rear door drill.
Okay, crouch down.
After the last student has left,
Well, I mean, why would you not crouch down? I mean, if you're already tall and you're used to hitting your head on things, of course you're going to duck so you don't get your head hit, honey.
Watch your
the
head.
driver walks back to the front of the bus to make sure that everybody is out.
Brant says in the chat, y'all, my dad was a school bus driver and tore off the drive-through at Whataburger's roof. Honey, that would be me, y'all. I'm serious. I would go through things where, it has clearance and wouldn't be thinking. Like, I'd be trying to go to the Macy's because they got a sale or something, and there's no clearance at the parking, and it just, there it goes. Convertible, school bus convertibles, y'all. And during the pandemic, it's probably safer for the kids. You know what I mean? Hey, think about it. That's a good idea, isn't it? And then if it rains or something, bad weather, you just don't have school that day.
These have been drills, done for practice in a schoolyard where a real emergency seems pretty far away.
Okay.
But they're important.
Yeah.
I think you gotta practice these drills because what if the bus caught on
Wow.
fire? Everybody might panic and they wouldn't get out in time.
Well, back then, that's true, little Jimmy, but nowadays, people would just complain and fuss about the rights being taken away, and so they would just all sit in their seat and burn to death because they didn't want to put a mask on because for some reason they think that's their rights are gone and they're not, it's all fake, Jimmy. The fire's not real. Oh, yes, to show so what? Grandma's over there set ablaze burning, but guess what, Jimmy? We choose not to believe it because it's not real. So don't put a mask on, little Jimmy.
some people don't take it too seriously because
I wonder who that is, Tommy. Who doesn't take it so seriously, little Tommy?
they think it'll never happen to them.
What's he talking about? School bus burning or a pandemic?
I think it's important because if a bus was in a wreck and if the kids didn't know what to do, then they could all be tumbling and yelling at each other and just panicking.
True, but I think your mother made that dress out of a sack. Because that thing is horrible, honey.
I think it's a good idea to practice because if you really got stuck on a railroad track, you'd know what to do.
True. You know what I would do if I had all them kids on that railroad track and we got out and then the train stopped? I'd say, come on, kids, I'm going to show you how to rob a train and we're going to get lots of money and become really rich millionaires. And then we can each go to the hills just like Jeffree Star.
It takes practice to be able to get out of a school bus.
Does it? Does it take practice? Is that something that we need to practice on? Because I don't think nowadays we could get anybody to practice anything because people won't even wear a mask.
In a real emergency.
I want to go shopping and I can't because nobody will wear a mask. Exactly, Toby. Lay on the tracks, lose legs, profit. Exactly. Rashawn, have I seen Justin's? No, I have not seen Justin's new video. I have not. I have not. Is it good, honey? I'm sure it is. All right, let's take a look at this one, girls. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh. Oh, okay, a little rock and roll. Yeah. Yeah, let's get partying with it, girls. Come on, everybody, let's take a sip of our non-alcoholic beverage. Oh! What? What did they? Did they not have any makeup money or something? Let's just take lipstick and rub it all over his face. It'll look the same on the camera. It'll look just like a big old accident. That's what happens when you get that Jeffree Star orgy palette. All those colors are the same. See, it's a hot mess. You know Jeffree Star's giving out all that money yesterday, and I didn't get any of my money, and I followed him and retweeted him. It was a scam. Oh, Christian says the new Sarah video has a surprise ending.
He always drove too fast, and that's what caused the accident.
His friends called him Speed, and that's who gave him the nickname. Okay, y'all. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is getting hot.
But what were the reasons for Tom's persistent speeding?
This is weird. I'm sorry. Look at that cop. What's going on there? The pants are mighty tight.
What motivated him? What events led up?
Honey, he's dead. What is that thing gonna do? What is that little ball? What is that, y'all? I've always seen those little oxygen things, but there's no oxygen, so he's just repumping air, and I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can explain this to me, what that is.
To this tragic ending.
I always, to be honest, when I see one of those, I thought it was a breast pump. Okay, there. You know what? He's just like, listen, this happens all the time. Ain't no big deal around here.
I'm a traffic investigator, and it's my job to...
Why is this filmed like an 80s porn? Why is he looking at the guy that's there to tow the vehicle? And it's like, yeah, you want some of this? Let me show you that I still have all my hair plugs.
Uncover the answers to these questions.
Mark says, have you seen Cupcake Television on TikTok? Yes, honey, I follow. So talented, I love.
Besides, I knew him personally, and I liked him.
Oh, I knew there was more to the story.
I called on his...
Berg says it's a porn, not an accident, but an accident. Oh, my Lord, I love that.
Father first.
Ugh. father needs a new outfit.
Mr.
Those bell bottoms. Are they bell bottoms or are they parachutes?
Robinson was very cooperative and gave me a
That's sun damage. Somebody needs an AHA and a good sunscreen, hadn't he?
frank account of his son's driving history. Before Tom got his own car, Mr. Robinson told me,
You know that song, Mrs. Robertson. Da, 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 da. I don't know if it goes like that or not.
father and son had frequent arguments about who was going to use the family car.
Oh, honey. Oh. He slammed that, didn't he, honey? Come on, vroom, vroom.
I gathered
The daddy liked to speed too, didn't he?
that Mr. Robinson himself was a pretty skillful driver, but aggressive and impatient behind the wheel.
Oh, my Lord, y'all, there's my RV. You imagine getting hit and then you're like, oh, thanks a lot. You tore up my car and my house. Horrible. Love, live, honk. That's what I say. I'm going to get me a little plaque when I get my RV. I'm going to put it up there really high. It's going to say, love, live, honk.
Probably he kept his good driving record only through luck and the courtesy of other more
I can't tell, but do y'all see CarPlay in there? I think that's an iPhone to the right or something. I don't know. It looks like it has CarPlay.
sensible drivers.
Teresa says a Chevy Monte Carlo. Ooh. Girls, make sure y'all like this
I
video.
wondered how many of Tom's earliest attitudes
Hong Kong.
toward driving and taking
Get out of the
chances
way.
might have come from
Yeah,
watching his own
pass
father.
it. Who speeds in a subdivision? Like, really? Come on, slow it down, honey.
Then with Mr. Robinson's help,
Rashad.
Tom had been able to
Kylie
get a
skin
car of his
apricot
own.
scrub,
He
honey.
acted as if his whole life had led up to
Yes,
this moment.
Brian, you're so
I remember
right.
I felt pretty much the same way about my first car.
Look, I have his mouth. He's got Trump's son mouth, don't he? That's how they all look, all the Trump kids, even the Donners. Look at me. I'm Donald Trump. I'm Donald Trump Jr. I'm Ivanka.
In spite of his own
It's like they're all puppets, marionette dolls. Help me.
reckless driving habits,
That's how Chucky looked too in the Chucky movie, didn't he? Remember that? He like, I'm Chucky. Remember that, y'all? Y'all know it's true. All those kids, something's wrong with those kids, y'all. I'm sorry. But Trump, you have horrible offspring, and that's just true. Even Tiffany, they all look like, I don't know, Reese's Cup rejects from the factory, and they just didn't melt right. They just didn't. You know, not everybody goes to 100%. Y'all know I said that in the past. Not everybody goes to 100%, and Trump's kids are like negative 5%. And that's the truth. God-given truth.
Mr. Robinson made it a point to urge his son to drive carefully and to observe all the traffic.
Oh, honey, he's got a Mustang Sally. Honey, he's hitting them. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go 70 miles per hour on a dirt road. Yeah, very intelligent. Whoa, look at me. I'm a badass. Yeah, look at my manhood. See, it's real large because I'm going fast. Go, Speed Racer, go.
First,
I do like the way the old Mustangs look, though. They do. To me, the design still looks good, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be nice if they re-released that design, but with a new technology? That'd be so amazing.
thing, Tom took the shortcut
Stones, thank you so much. Hi, Debra. Your voice is very therapeutic. Well, not very, but I added that.
over the hills to his girlfriend's house to show her the new car.
Let me show you the new car, Toots, but it's not my ride. He's going to Melania's house. Little Melania before she was the Trump.
He and his father had already worked out a plan
This is Don Jr., the untold story of Don Jr. He was with Melania first.
for Tom to repay the loan. Mr. Robinson told me, proudly, that his son had faithfully kept their agreement right up to the time of the accident.
Oh, look, is that Ruth Bader? I'm sorry. Listen, I love her. I'm just saying, it kind of does look like far away. Y'all, have y'all tried the Susan Yaris's skincare brand? You know, the one she claimed wasn't hers in the beginning when she was pimping it out, and then come to find out she's the founder of the company or whatever, and the spokesperson or something like that, and gets paid. Have y'all tried any of that though? Because there's like a $20 AHA, but it's a liquid AHA. I think it's a salicylic. I'm not sure, but anyways, just let me know if y'all have tried that. I'm curious. I'm wondering, if that's something I should get or try. Let me know, girls. I'm all about the ordinary, so I normally stick with all of that, but I was thinking about giving that other one a go, just to see.
Tom appeared in traffic court once on a speeding ticket. He admitted he'd been speeding and was perfectly willing to pay the fine. But his father was outraged that the police wasted their time hauling in good, clean-cut kids for driving a little fast.
Wait, he's not... I thought he died. Oh, this is a previous incident, apparently.
The city was overrun with real criminals. I'd heard that idea many times. How much did it contribute to Tom's own attitude toward speeding? Tom's younger brother, Kenny, still very proud of him, said to me, "Tom was the best driver in the world. He could have been a race driver."
That hair, my lord. I hope he's doing lots of lights checks. Oh, Stone, that's a good idea. I thought about covering the debates this Tuesday. I thought about it, but I'm not sure because I'm not sure if they'll try to take me down, even though all these other people are going to be doing it. But since I'm not like a political news channel, I'm not sure what the rules are. I'm not sure, but I thought about doing that, girls. Guess I could try it if they take me down. Yeah, get in. Don't buckle up, though. We don't believe in buckling up. It's our God-given right not to buckle. Oh, little Timmy, it's got core play.
It was pretty clear that this obvious hero worship from his younger brother must have been important to
Oh,
Tom.
Sandy, that's horrible. Oh, well, Lord have mercy. They almost took him out, didn't they?
His own conviction
Oh, well, I'm sorry, hun. You shouldn't have been standing in the road right. GTA for life.
that he was a skillful driver. Kenny would be old enough to apply for his driver's license in a few weeks.
So he's letting his brother teach him how to drive. Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with this picture. Come on, girls.
When he told me about the lessons Tom gave him, he made them sound like some of their happiest times together.
Oh, is that an Apple Watch 6 series? It looks like it, doesn't it?
I spoke with several of Tom's teachers. I learned that he was popular with his fellow students, although he wasn't particularly active in school affairs.
He looks, look at her the way she's looking at him. She's like, honey, you are a dish. That is what you are, Mr. Trumpy. She's not having it.
Teachers agreed that he was conscientious and responsible. He was...
No, I can look at him and tell he is not. Okay, he does not look responsible. He does not look like a good kid. Oh, look at Jan over there with her shades on in the class, honey. Oh, she's in another world, isn't she?
a good student, though not brilliant, and he...
He's a good student, but not brilliant. Oh, my Lord. Look at what? Marilyn Manson in the back. What? I mean, not Marilyn Manson. Charles Manson in the back with that Jesus beard. They, Lord, all these people look like they're 40 years old. Does not look like no teenagers, y'all.
usually showed good common sense. I made it a point to talk with some of Tom's friends.
Yeah. I think the gentleman right there wanted to be more than friends. I'm just, I'm just getting that vibe. And honey, I wouldn't turn him down either, honey. I'm just saying, look, he wants to be more than friends. We can tell. She's just going to be there to watch.
Desire to be accepted.
Oh, okay, now it makes sense. She wants her. But, oh my God. Oh my Lord, she looks like the lady from Crybaby. You know, the one that has the knife and she pulls it out on the old lady and she's like, shook up on ladies, get cut. And then she licks the knife. Y'all remember that scene from Crybaby? Shook up on ladies, get cut.
Tom always seemed to be trying to...
Hello, Cher Bear, honey.
He sure could handle a car, they told me.
I would stick shift. Y'all, listen, I definitely would wipe everybody out in the neighborhood if I had that car. It'd be spinning in circles, just knocking down each home. Because, honey, I cannot drive a stick. I tried, and it was a horrible sight, girls. The car started smoking, and then it was, like, getting too hot, and it turned itself off because it said the engine was overheating because, like, the gearbox thing was all melted. I don't know, honey. It was a bad sight. Hello, Susie, honey.
But there was no doubt they thought he was a pretty wild driver. Once Tom found that he'd earned his friend's admiration, he was anxious to keep up his reputation for fast driving.
I'm glad he doesn't have an RV. Could you imagine that ride?
His girlfriend Carol told me that she liked riding with him. But I never realized what...
Wonder why she liked riding with him, honey.
We always had such a great time.
Wanna race? This is little Debbie, because I'd be like, oh, is he hitting on me? The whole time I'm thinking he's hitting on me. And then they're just wanting to race. Run, run. Get it, honey. Go. I could be like one of those flag girls. Go. Y'all remember that? Rum, rum. Rum, 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 oh, my Lord. And you know what? They got like 2 miles per gallon back then. Oh, Lord. What's he about to do to her? Honey, this ain't this kind of show, honey. PG-13, please. Oh, Lord, honey, that's scary. You know, when the man in the car always, why don't you just touch your hair in the car? No, ma'am. Debbie ain't doing that, honey. That's not a Jesus. Honey, hands off. This ain't no shampoo commercial.
Carol told me that one of Tom's best friends had been badly hurt in an automobile accident and might be permanently crippled. But Tom's attitude seems to have been the usual one. It can't happen to me. And his reckless speeding...
Sandy says, Deborah, don't you know us old ladies should only watch G-rated movies? It's too much for our blood pressure, girl. Honey, it is. That's why I always double my dose tonight. Doubled my dose, honey.
Continued. His confidence in his own skill at the wheel increased, and he grew more and more impatient with anyone who got in his way.
Oh, it could be. Seabiscuit says, prequel to that movie, Death Proof. Oh, my Lord, it could be, honey. I like that movie. That's a good movie.
He took more chances than ever.
You know, another thing is I'm addicted to the GPS nowadays in the cars. Yeah, between stick shift and not knowing what road is which, honey, it's a sad situation for Debbie. Uh-oh, there's the copper. Oh, those cops look so hot back then in those outfits, the bike ones. Oh, my God. How it did something to me. Oh, my Lord. Oh, I'm getting a fan on myself. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Chips. Y'all remember that TV show, Chips? Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Oh, that horn is horrible.
I learned that Tom used to brag about his technique for beating the rap if an officer stopped him for a traffic violation.
What? Did he flirt? What's his secret? Let's find out. Yeah, this is a porn. This is a porn.
His trick was always to be very pleasant and polite, to say he was sorry for what he'd done.
Now this is like, okay, so basically his magic power is white privilege. I'm guessing, right? That's what it is. White privilege, y'all. People say it doesn't exist. Well, here it is, y'all.
And to agree with everything the officer said. On minor violations, it seems to have
And then he's dressed like the brawny man. Come on now, honey.
worked. He'd actually been stopped several times and let go with a warning. My own association with Tom came about through the Athletic League baseball team, where
The athletic team, baseball. Peter Mon always talks about that, doesn't he? With like Joan or Jane or whatever when she does the softball with the girls.
I was
Oh my God, honey, Cher Bear's meds are 88. Girl, I hope you're getting them at the Walgreens and you're getting all them points, honey.
coach. Tom's doctor had reported to me that he was in good physical shape and that his eyesight and reflexes were excellent. Only a few days before his accident, he tried out for first base. He was always likable and conscientious, but his playing was erratic and he just couldn't handle the position. I've often wondered.
Those are the jeans. I remember those jeans, y'all, and they were like felt. Y'all remember that? And they had the deep grooves like a record player. Oh my God, y'all. The way they would make me feel when I had them on and the touch of them. Oh my God, it's just not for a lady. It really isn't.
Wondered if this failure might have upset him so much that he unconsciously tried to compensate for it in other ways. Perhaps it was one more factor in his.
Uh-oh, okay. Coach can get it here, honey. You've seen it and you heard it here first. Coach can get it.
Compulsion to speed. Tom had a part-time job after school in a local drugstore.
Oh, he was still in the drugs. He was still in the drugs.
His employer told me that he was a dependable worker, friendly and polite.
Yeah, this just ain't coming together, honey. I'm just not seeing it. I think this is a lie. Just a lie. It's not.
The pharmacist also told me that the day before the accident, Tom had asked for a raise.
The guy has no gloves on, and letting this guy come in there with no gloves, no mask or anything, hanging his head over these oxys. Come on, girls. Get it together, John Jr.
He had had to turn him down. Tom seemed unusually disappointed, he thought. He needed the
He wanted a raise and got turned down. How much did he ask for?
extra money for his car insurance.
Look at that. He didn't want to give him that money. You see the way he looked at it? I don't want to give you no raise. Yeah, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Then, the following day, Tom drove Carol home after school and headed over the hills.
This is like that area in GTA, y'all. Lord, GTA really recreated all this, didn't it?
Again on his way to
Don't
work.
forget to like the video and like and subscribe. Uh-oh. He was messing with his CarPlay. This is how it all ends, y'all. Whee! I'm sorry. This isn't funny, but just the way this is edited. Oh my God. That's not even the same car. It's not. Look, it's a shell of a car. You can see through the back of the car. That's the trunk, and it doesn't go to anything. It's like that bridge to nowhere Sarah Palin talked about. It's a car that's empty. Oh, he didn't have a seatbelt on, apparently. Wasn't too bright. Well, I hope he still's going to ask me to the prom.
So there wasn't just one reason for Tom speeding, but lots of them. And they had brought us.
I don't think you're supposed to keep going low when you're checking their heart, honey. I'm just saying. That ain't how it works, honey. Let's go up some more, okay? Let's keep this PG, okay?
both here.
Look how it's... No. I mean, think about it. If you're going like 70, you fly off a cliff, you go out the window somehow, and then you just flip it 50 million times down a rocky hill, and all you got is one little blood splat on your cheek, you're doing pretty good. I mean, you know, somebody's watching over you.
His early difficulties with his father over the use of the family car might have caused him...
Rashawn, honey, you're making me fall out. Rashawn said, I hope they weren't... Okay, this is the funniest comment so far of the night. Rashawn says, excuse me. Rashawn says in the chat, I hope they weren't trying to do a mukbang. That's exactly why he went off the edge, y'all.
to think of it as a symbol of adult superiority. And his father's attitude...
Oh, he's got a clenched fist.
attitude and driving habits might have given him the dangerous idea that it's all right for a skillful driver to take chances. The admiration his speeding earned him from his younger brother,
Faster, Timmy, faster!
and his apparent popularity with his friends must have been unusually important to him. Subconsciously, he may have looked upon speeding as a way of making up for those small failures and disappointments that we all have to face.
What? Sounds like we're just trying to give him an easy out. I mean, oh, you sped because you were bad at softball? Get it together, honey. You sped because you are a jerk. And I'm just serving tea, honey, and serving truth. You sped because you were a loser, Don Jr.
I thought further about Kenny. As drivers, both his father and his older brother had set poor examples for him, but his own history and personality were different from his brot's. How good a driver would he turn out to be?
Not yet, Rashawn. Not yet, honey.
I felt that Tom's speeding was an emotional outlet.
Girl, honey, you know why he got away with all this and what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened. It was the downfall of society always letting him away with everything, just like the police officers. Every time he got a ticket, they just let him go. That's the problem. Shows there's something wrong with society, if you ask me.
He was probably compensating for feelings of insecurity and inferiority. Speeding was a kind of thrill-seeking for him.
This is too much, y'all. Honey, not today.
A childish defiance of authority, and a misdirected attempt to show superiority.
Why is that Wait a minute. Why does the ambulance say whites? Wait a minute. Why does the ambulance say whites? Lord, heavens knows. Ain't no way. That must just be the name of the hospital, right? Probably, that's what it is. I'm just saying that, it's probably White's Hospital, and this is just bad timing. I'm just saying, what in the world? Lord have mercy. I'm just saying, that does not look good.
These were surely some of the reasons for Tom's compulsion to speed. There may have been others. If
There may have been others.
He took them with him.
Oh, that was the end. The end. A Sid Davis production. That was insane. That was a good one. All right, let's check this one out, y'all. Let's check this one out. Oh, what's it gonna be? Oh, she's about to microwave something, ain't she? Get it, honey.
People will ask me what is the very best steak to buy.
Damn, honey, that's a lot of meat, girl. Somebody's doing Atkins.
And I suggest that they buy a porterhouse USDA Prime.
I'm sorry, but her accent. Somebody's been hitting the bottle and the prescriptions.
Because with a porterhouse, actually, there's 2 steaks in one.
Ah, well, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me.
If you were to cut out the small round section.
I'm sorry. Why is she rubbing the pencil in the meat? Imagine going over the house and eating, and all of a sudden you're like, that tastes like a number 2. What is that? And you spit out a piece of lead.
The tenderloin, you'd have a filet mignon.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. It's just Judy Garland.
Then this larger loin-eye portion, if you cut that away from the bone, it would be a loin strip steak.
Okay, good to know.
Some places call it a New York strip steak or a Kansas City strip steak. Then another steak that's certainly nice for family meals or
What kind of family meals?
when you're entertaining, because it's a nice large size steak, is this one, a flat bone sirloin. And this long flat bone,
It looks like a mushroom.
this is the most tender of all your sirloin steaks. You'll notice that this is cut thick, a good 1.5 inches thick. And I'd like to suggest that in buying steaks any steak that you buy.
Look at those nails, honey. How does she do the dishes?
You'll have it cut at least an inch in thickness.
Oh, that's a Coke nail. Yeah. It's just that one nail that's that long, y'all. It's a Coke nail, and we ain't talking Pepsi.
You'll get much better results in cooking.
She is off the chart. She's a little high to nine.
And of course, with this steak being USDA choice, a high quality grade, it can be broiled or pan broiled.
It's a good idea, Seabiscuit.
So we'll just put it on the broiler pan, ready to go in the broiler.
Who cooks steaks in the oven? God, that's a big steak. You know, back in the day, they always said food was smaller. Hell no, honey, that's a big-ass steak.
And whenever you're
Sarah size.
handling meat or handling steaks, be sure to use tongs so that you don't puncture the meat.
Okay. Not your Coke nail, because, honey, that Coke nail would do some damage to the meat.
Because in using tongs to handle the meat, treat it with tender, loving care.
Treat it with tender, loving care. She's been in the bottle.
Now another
You ain't getting no coin this month, honey. You ain't getting your coin this month. Now, that's just a joke for the girls out there that are on the AI. But it's true. She ain't getting no coin this month. Okay, y'all, I'm serious. They ain't going to give her one. They're going to say, honey, you come in here smell like mouthwash, and it smells like Jack Daniels. They don't make a Jack Daniels mouthwash, Sally. Okay, no coin for you. Okay, honey, come back in a month.
Steak that's delicious for broiling or for cooking outdoors is a beef ribeye steak. This has a well-developed flavor.
Well-developed? Honey, how much are you cooking?
Also, you'll notice that this is cut about 1.5 inches thick. These are nice boneless steaks for broiling, or as I said, for cooking out of doors. Now for
I've just never had a broiled steak. Have y'all ever done that before? Let me know in the comments.
economy, you might like
I'm being serious.
to
You know she's going to pull out a bottle of A-Wood. I don't know where she's going to pull it out of, but she's going to pull it out.
try a blade chuck steak, such as this one. This is good for broiling or cooking on the outdoor grill.
You're saying that with everything, honey. You're saying, oh, this one's good for broiling or cooking on the outdoor grill. That's what you're saying about all of them.
If it's prime or choice. Or another economical cut is this full cut round steak. And you
That one's got a little butthole. I'm sorry, but it does. Ew, I don't want to eat that one.
the round steak has several different sections, all of which can be prepared in different ways. And you can select in prime or choice. Now here's a booklet entitled How to Buy Beef Steaks.
And you get this from your lovely Mormons that come around every week, giving out pamphlets, how to buy beef steaks.
Which illustrates for you all of the popular retail cuts as you see them in the meat counter, all the popular steaks, some of the ones I've been talking about, others included. You can request a single free copy of the booklet by writing to Agriculture TV, Washington, D.C.
20250.
Zip code 20250. Now, if you select wisely,
Lord, she's got skeleton hands, doesn't she?
and
She could, make kebabs with her nails and her fingies. Just stab the meat and roast them.
prepare your steaks properly, you'll be assured of delectable, sizzling steaks, just like this one in the broiler.
Sandy says, I broiled steaks only once. I won't do it again. Our broiler caught fire. What a mess. Oh, honey, that sounds horrible. Sounds messy. It's done already? In 2 minutes? My Lord, what were they cooking with back then? Uranium? Oh, it's going to drip all over. Ew. I don't know. That just looked unclean to me. She's writing a novel. She's writing the next Harry Potter movie. Book, not movie. Well, both. It'll be both.
If you've considered buying meat in quantity to stock your home freezer, you might have had a few questions along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And there are basic considerations to make in buying for a freezer. For example, the amount of freezer space that you have available, then the amount of meat that your family can use within a reasonable period of time, the type of meat cuts and quality of meat that your family prefers, and also the amount of money that you can spend all at one time.
Poverty meat.
Now, in addition to these basic considerations, there are several different ways to buy, or alternatives in buying. You can buy in carcass form,
Carcass? Oh my God. No, indeed, she is not.
like a whole side of beef.
You gonna process it yourself in that pink chiffon dress, honey, and that bouffant hair, and those nails? Oh, honey.
And a good rule of thumb to follow here is that if you buy an entire side like this, you'll get 25% steaks, 25% roast, 25% stewing beef and grinding beef, and 25% waste, bone and fat. So there's all of that to take into account. Then if you'd like to buy just a hind quarter, this section of the side of beef, you'll get some of the more tender cuts like porterhouse steak and sirloin steak, but this will cost about 15 to 20 cents per pound more than this portion, the forequarter. Now,
because that's the side of the horse. I mean, not horse. That's the part of the cow that's like more hard and not tender, I'm guessing, right?
forequarter has the delectable rib roast, but it also has some of the less tender cuts, like
Clinch says that takes too much planning from one honey. She's making me want to go vegetarian.
the chuck, which takes up about 50% of the forequarter. So there are all of these considerations to make in buying a forequarter or in buying a hindquarter.
Doesn't she sort of look like Mike Pence? Doesn't she kind of like if Mike Pence decided to be trans, that's sort of what Mike Pence would look like? Can y'all see? Maybe it's the nose. I think it's the nose.
Then if you're limited on freezer space, you may wish to consider buying by wholesale cut. And by wholesale cut, for example, here's a beef short loin where you get your porterhouse, T-bone, and club steaks. Or another wholesale cut would be a pork loin. You can have pork chops or pork loin roast cut just as you wish. Or how about a leg of lamb or a couple of legs of lamb? Have the sirloin chops cut off.
Why does none of this looks like the animal? It's creepy. Everything looks like a dolphin.
The leg, and use the remaining portion of the leg for a leg of lamb roast. So you can buy in carcass form, you can buy by wholesale cut, and then there's another
wide angle. Okay, high tech, honey.
alternative
Look, she don't have a girdle on today.
to consider, and that's buying retail cuts. Very often the supermarkets will have specials on various
Okay, who opens the fridge like this? Open the fridge, ass out, honey.
retail cuts, and you can buy according to family preference. You can buy different steaks when they're on special at the supermarket, or
Look at all this meat. Who has this money? She's like obsessed with me, child.
there are always delicious roasts that are on special from time to time that you can buy for your family, like this beautiful
It's like that purse Hermione has in Harry Potter, and like it never ends. Like there is no way all this meat is fitting in this little small fridge. Ain't no way.
beef rib roast, and there are certain guidelines on your meat cuts to
They print on the meat. They did a lot of things different back then, didn't they?
help you in buying.
So they have a meat printer? That's weird, isn't it? I'd hate to touch that.
For example, your round and
Wait a minute. You know, like in school, if you ever needed something printed and you know, we were too poor. We never had ink or something. So then you're like, oh, well, Daddy does have that meat printer out in the garage. And then you print your report on a piece of bacon, or not a piece of bacon, but like a slab of turkey roast, not turkey roast, I don't know, a steak. You print your report on a steak, a meat printer, and bring it into school. And then you can be like, well, the dog did try to eat my homework. See, Mrs. Hilden? You see, because it's a steak.
Inspection stamp, which assures you of a wholesome meat product. Then the USDA quality grade stamp that tells you you're
Arlene says chickens love her way. Yeah. They're like, don't eat us. Let us roam free, honey.
buying a certain degree of quality. Then there's a yield grade stamp that tells you the percentage of usable lean meat in a carcass. So it's very important to know about the stamps.
Okay, so we're learning something, y'all, because I never knew what those numbers meant. Now we know.
On the meat cuts to help you as guidelines in buying. In fact, there's so much to know.
If she pulls out meat from underneath her chiffon dress, because there's like a little bulge going on, I'm going to fall out. She's like, you can even keep your meat in your girdle.
In buying for a freezer, there's so many factors to consider. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture has published a booklet entitled How to Buy Meat for Your Freezer. It's a very helpful and informative book.
What kind of meat is on the cover of that? I think I see a ball. I'm sorry. It's true. What kind of meat are they selling over there at the FDA?
It covers beef, pork, and lamb. Has identification charts.
This is like porn for meat eaters, isn't it? Everything looks like a dolphin. This is so sad, y'all. We need to be vegan.
Charts of all three, and even has a chart to show you how to figure the retail value.
It's meat porn for meatophiles. Is that a word, meatophiles?
And compare the cost with retail prices. And you can write for a single free
It's Meat Boy, like Playboy, but for meat.
Copy of the booklet by requesting it from Agriculture TV.
Yeah, honey, you've showed us this before. Y'all, we all need to do a write-in campaign. We're all going to write to this address and be like, Debra, comfort this, honey. We want a pamphlet.
Washington, D.C. Zip code 20250. As I say, it's a very informative booklet.
Very
and I hope
informative.
you'll send for it.
Mm-hmm. She's so awkward. She doesn't know what to do, does she? Oh, look at those legs. Get it, honey. She got a nice tan. Hello, Carter. This is so weird. Why? Can we not have a transition? She's just over there wrapping the meat. Costume change. Okay, they had a big-ass steak before. You're telling me they're not having no leftovers? They're cooking something else again? She slammed that with anger. What are you angry about, honey? All that meat's giving her. It's giving her gas and she's getting constipated. It's making her angry. I put Valium in this meat.
Buying meat is an important job for any homemaker.
Okay, you said that earlier. Oh, I always love to put my raw meat next to my cooked meat. You know, a little cross-contamination never hurt nobody.
You know, we spend about 25 cents out of every food dollar for meat, so it's very important from that standpoint. Also, meat is a food that we all like, especially...
Really? What about the vegans? Okay, tell that to Peter Mine, okay, because I think she's vegan.
When it's tender and juicy and flavorful.
Tender and juicy, tender and juicy and flavorful. Tender and juicy and flavorful. Imagine how many times she had to like learn the lines to this. Tender, and she didn't know how to say it right. Should I say it like tender and juicy and flavorful, or tender and juicy and flavorful? She just didn't know.
And whenever you're buying meat to prepare a beautiful entree such as this,
that's not, honey, that is not beautiful. That looks like it needs a good scrubbing and some good moisturizing. That looks nasty. Okay, it looks like a turn. I'm just being honest.
it's important that you know about two things in particular, about the meat quality.
Okay, she's stabbing it with her press-on nail. Okay, go ahead.
And then it's important that you know about the cut of meat that
Okay, it's also important that it looks good and it doesn't look like a dead rat that's been burnt with a blowtorch. Okay, that's important too, honey.
you buy. Now, to talk first about quality.
Okay, we're touching raw meat with our hands. Okay. I see she's very sanitary. I don't think I'd eat in this household. Okay. Now I understand why half of her family's dead. Okay, it makes sense now.
There are the USDA grades for meat.
Wesley, you're so right. Serve it with the thermometer in it.
To help you in buying. This roast is graded
Honey.
USDA choice.
Yes,
And
honey.
you can see the little purple shield-shaped grade stamp.
Oh, gorgeous. Who are you wearing, Gaga? This is how they made that dress.
On the outside fat covering. This tells you that you're buying a certain degree of quality. Also, it assures you of buying consistent quality, because this rib roast is going to be just as tender and juicy and flavorful if you buy it today or if you buy it 2 weeks from now, when you buy by quality grade. So the grade stamps, or
Rebel says, it's been too damn long since I've had any meat. Oh, wrong meat.
grades are there to help you in selecting. Now, these are the top 3 grades that you'll find most often.
Okay, so she's showing the top 3 grades. What if you get some meat, y'all, and it's got stamped F on it? Does that mean run?
In today's supermarket. The top quality grade,
USDA Prime. Okay, we know that one.
USDA Prime, and then this
So she's touching that book after she touched the raw meat. Okay, safe. Yep.
one,
I'm going to trust everything you say, honey, because you're really clean.
which is the most popular and one which you're most familiar with, USDA Choice. You'll find this all over the country in today's meat counter. And the third quality grade, USDA Good. And very often, a store will offer 2 grades. If you were going to buy a beef roast to prepare as a pot roast, you went in the store and there was USDA Choice and USDA Good available.
Look at that. Oh, my God, it's thick, y'all.
And this one being a
I've never seen cuts of meat this large before.
USDA Choice blade chuck roast, and this roast being a USDA Good blade chuck roast. And this one's selling for a few cents less per pound
Okay, tell us how much, honey. I'm curious.
than this. Now, if you're going to prepare it as a pot roast, why not buy the USDA Good for a few cents per pound less? Because the way you cook it, cooking it slowly and adding liquid, you're going to tenderize it the way you cook it. So it's to your advantage to choose the grade according to how you're going to cook the particular cut that you select.
Okay.
So the grades do help in buying, you see. Now, meat grading is strictly voluntary. It's a service that's provided by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and it's provided by the request of meat packers and others who pay a fee for the service. And a specially trained
What are they spraying those meat carcasses with?
federal meat grader judges the quality of the meat and then rolls the purple shield
So I'm guessing you get a bad cow or a bad pig, and that's how it gets the lower grade. Like this one was a smoker, so it's going to get a C.
shaped grade stamp all along the back side of a carcass and across the shoulder and up the
Oh, he was knocking on it like it was the door.
brisket, and he rolls
Do you see him pop it with his hand?
the grade stamp. This
Why is he knocking on it? Is he expecting it to knock back? Honey, if I'm knocking on a dead cow and it knocks back, honey, I'm about to set that place on fire and run.
way,
And then I'm going to come back in 2 hours because after it's burnt, everything's going to be cooked really well done. I'm going to be running out of it as, it's on fire, salting and pepper and everything. I'll see y'all in an hour.
so that it appears on the outside fat covering of your retail cuts.
My Lord.
Now, this roast,
Hello,
you can see the
Coca,
purple
honey.
shield-shaped grade stamp on the outside fat
Have y'all seen stamps on meat? I haven't.
covering of the roast. And this is what tells you the quality of meat that you're buying.
I guess maybe I don't eat a lot of meat, so I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not looking at it like, oh, honey, there's a novel printed on here. Oh, looky.
So I say it represents a certain degree of quality and also assures you of consistent quality.
Oh, I remember that in the Rocky movie where he punches the carcass.
Now, not all meat is graded. Only
Kathy says, you must remember to jab your nail in the meat. Mm-hmm.
beef and calf.
Oh, my God, I thought she said cat. I was about to shut it off. I thought she said cat. I was about to say, wait a minute, honey. Wait a minute, sister.
And veal and lamb are graded for quality.
Oh, the lamb looks weird, doesn't it? Ugh. The lamb looks burned.
Pork is not graded. Now, in addition,
pork is not graded. Ugh. So we don't want pork then if we don't get a grade.
It's important to know the various cuts of meat that you buy and how to properly prepare them, because the cuts will vary within the animal. For example, in a side of beef, you have the more tender cuts.
I hope she got paid well for this because she's put herself at risk. She really is touching all this meat. Oh my God, imagine the smell in there. Because y'all, meat stinks. Ugh, could you imagine the smell?
Along the center
Hello, Kim,
back
honey.
portion of the side of beef. And then in this front section, the chuck, you have your shoulder and blade cuts, which are less tender. And then in the back section, in the round,
is that where the baby comes out of?
You have your round steak and sirloin tip roast, also less tender. So you have to prepare according to cut. And as I say, the cuts will vary in tenderness within
thank you, Mike Pence.
one animal or within a side of beef. Now, there are booklets to help you that have been published by the U.S. Department of
Oh, here we go again. Honey, wait, is she making a commission off this booklet? Honey, are you getting a cut off this booklet? Because you just won't stop talking about this booklet.
Agriculture, one entitled How to Buy Beef Roast, the other How to Buy Beef Steaks. And in each of these booklets, there's an...
Honey, you know what, on my merch website, y'all, I'm going to do a pamphlet, because I guess these pamphlets are just a hot commodity, y'all.
identification chart in the center fold illustrates all of the popular retail cuts just as you see them in the meat counter. And you can write for your single free copy of each. Write to Steaks and Roasts, Agriculture TV, Washington, D.C., zip code 20250. And you'll find, with the help of these booklets, that you'll be a much wiser shopper at the meat counter, and you can serve your meat cuts with pride.
With pride. This, for the kids watching, y'all, back in our day, honey, this was the original pride flag. It was the meat. Now she's touched all of that warm, germ-infested, corona-infested meat. And now she's touching the cooked meat with her dirty hands. Are you serious? I'm not believing this. Something ain't right. No, ma'am. What is this, Jackie Kennedy? Honey, stop it. These outfits. Honey, stop. Look at all the meat. There's like one. Let's count the meat, y'all. 1, 2, 3 in front of her. And then behind her, there's like 4, 5, 6. She's got meat everywhere. Oh, that's a muffin. That ain't a meat behind her. What is she doing with all this meat?
A beautiful, delectable beef rib roast. This is certainly suitable for special family dinners or special dinner guests.
Special dinners guests. Yeah.
And this particular roast has a quality grade of USDA choice. So it has a high degree of quality, and it's a very tender cut of beef. And it can be prepared by oven roasting, the dry heat method of cookery. You simply place the roast in a shallow roasting pan like this, set it on the rib bones. You see these rib bones form a natural rack on the underside, and then insert your meat thermometer in the very center of the lean, because it's this meat thermometer that assures you of getting the desired degree of doneness.
But if you put the meat thermometer in the meat and then bake it, with it, the heat of the oven's going to heat up the thermometer before the center part heats up, honey. So that don't even make any sense. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Now it's ready to go in the oven. And we'll put the roast in the oven at a temperature of 325 degrees. And whether you're cooking a beef rib roast like this one, or any roast, a pork roast, a leg of
that oven looks like it puts out some heat, y'all.
Lamb roast, a beef chuck roast. If you'll cook your meat at a lower oven temperature, you'll get much better results in cooking. Also, if you use a meat thermometer.
I like what Seabiscuit says. This was going on in the kitchen while the last video of the teen taking the car from Dad was going on outside. So this is the kid's mom. When he was out riding crazy with Dad, she was in there getting ready, cross-contaminating the food.
For all of your roasts, then you'll always be assured of getting the desired degree of doneness. Now, I mentioned that rib roast was USDA choice. Well, the very top quality grade is this one, USDA Prime. And the little shield-shaped grade stamp on the outside fat covering tells you that it's USDA Prime. The letters USDA and the grade name. And you see...
She's just sticking those nails on that meat, y'all.
With Prime, there's an abundant amount of...
Oh, Amazon Prime. Oh, I get it now. So Amazon will just send you just boxes full of meat. Okay, in 2 days. That's what's up.
Marbling in the lean meat. This is the very best in beef quality. Then the next quality grade is this one, USDA Choice. Also a high quality grade, I might add. And this is what...
I might add. Yeah, go ahead, add. Add a lot, honey.
What you find most often in the supermarket. But each one of these grades represent a distinct level of quality. Now another roast that's certainly good for family meals, another delectable beef roast, is a blade chuck. And this blade chuck roast is also USDA choice. And in the top 3 grades, this can be oven roasted or prepared by the dry heat method of cookery, like your rib roast. So this roast we would place on a rack in a shallow roasting pan, and then insert the meat thermometer in the very center of the lean portion of the roast. Put it in the oven at 320.
Okay, let's make sure we get all of our inside of our hands coated first, girls. Let's just squish the meat so we can get those juices in the nail bed and in the palms of the hands.
25 degrees.
Right. Make sure you touch it really good.
Same temperature as the rib roast. Now for
all right, now let's go touch other things with our meaty hands.
More economical meals, perhaps you'd like to serve...
Oh, there she goes. Grab it, honey. Touch it.
Serve your family a fresh beef brisket, such as this one, also graded USDA choice, or perhaps a shoulder arm roast.
This is so crazy. Who knew there was so much meat?
Both of these cuts have a high percentage of...
Y'all, they just had to burn the set down. I don't see how they decontaminated all of this. I really don't. That meat's got a condom on it. But I don't see how they decontaminated this set. They just burned it down. Ain't no way. They just had to burn it down.
Lean meat, small amount of bone, small amount of outside fat. But being a less tender cut, the shoulder arm, for example, should be prepared by the moist heat method of cookery.
Moist heat? What?
You put it in a roasting
okay, Jackie Kennedy.
pan on a rack, and then add liquid. And the liquid that you add, you can use water, you can use various vegetable juices or fruit juices. And after you add the liquid, you simply put a cover on the roasting pan, put it in your oven at 300 to 320.
You can cook in silver? What? I don't think you can cook in silver. I don't think so. They could have warped it.
25 degrees. And this is...
That won't even fit in her little janky oven.
Is pot roasting a less...
What is she, Malibu Barbie? Get it together.
Tender cut of beef. Now, another beef roast that's certainly good for family meals is this beautiful sirloin tip roast. Has a lot of good lean meat. It's also graded USDA choice. This is sometimes called a loin end
that's true, Rashawn, honey.
Roast or a round end roast. But this is another one that's certainly good for family meals. I've only mentioned a few of the many popular beef roasts here today.
She's, oh, Lord, I don't think I can take it. She's got another pamphlet.
But you
Y'all, we can do this. We can get through this. We just got to breathe in and breathe out. And we also got to like the videos so Debbie gets a lot of likes. And breathe out.
may want to study more of them in this book.
Look at her. She's wanting to laugh, y'all, because she knows she said this like 50 million times.
That's been put out by the U.S. Department of Agriculture entitled How to Buy Beef Roast. The booklet has an identification chart in the centerfold. It also has illustrations of all the popular retail cuts, just as you see them in the meat counter. Now, you can write for a single free copy of the booklet by requesting it from Agriculture TV,
Washington, D.C.,
zip code
20250. Yes, honey.
Then the next time you go to the meat counter, be sure you look for the purple shield-shaped grade stamp on the meat that you buy as your assurance of quality.
So it's insurance. So what happens if you get a bad cut? Do you get like money or something? Oh, she's going to put it back in the fridge after it sat out for over 2 hours and already started making one cycle of germs. Okay. Smart lady. She's touched the handle with meaty hands. Wonderful, honey. I'm going to close the door with 2 hands so I can get it even more germy. Oh, everybody, right here we've got a lovely pot roast. She's made, oh my God, what is she wearing? Honey, did she steal that from our girl? I think she stole that from Cardi B, y'all. Cardi B wore that in Paris, but it was green. Oh, okay. She's serving a little bit of fierceness. Okay, serve it, honey.
You know, it's
She's going to eat all that by herself? Girl, you got an appetite, honey.
easy to be popular.
She's going to throw it up later, though. Okay, Karen Carpenter, rest in pieces. Honey, I love you. You know I love you. I have all your albums. God bless you. Even I have that unreleased disco album that your brother didn't want you to make. And, honey, it sounds fabulous. You should have released it. Do you, boo. Do you. Except when it comes to eating habits. You should have followed your brother's advice on that. Love you, honey.
When you serve your family steak, but the real trick is to be economical as well. That may sound a little bit contradictory, but it can be done, and it can certainly be done with...
She's got to be on low carb or something. Ain't no way.
This versatile cut, this first cut of the blade...
Oh, look at them potatoes, y'all. Little candies, ain't they?
Blade chuck roast. Now, this is a very popular cut of beef among American consumers, and many families like it prepared.
Oh, really, Sandy? Sandy says my mother always used one of those thermometers. It was probably made better back then. Probably had real mercury in it and just, glass. So, yeah, probably did.
As a pot roast. And in preparing it as a pot roast, that means cooking it with moist heat, adding...
Cooking it with moist heat?
Vegetables as it's cooking, the vegetables that you like.
Oh, Peter hates her, honey.
But this is a very versatile cut and can certainly be used in different ways. Like most all of the beef that I buy, this roast is USDA choice.
Oh, honey, here we go again. And she's about to pull out that pamphlet. I can feel it.
And USDA choice, this little purple...
Oh, them nails, though, she got to fill in.
Purple shield-shaped grade stamp on the outside fat...
Oh, she's got a knife this time, y'all. She threw that little pencil away.
Covering represents a certain level of quality. Now, for a very special occasion, if I wanted the ultimate in quality, then I would select USDA Prime, which is the top quality grade. Or if I wanted to pot roast it like this, or cut it all up into stewing beef and make a nice beef stew, then I would select USDA Good, the next quality grade below USDA Choice. Beef grading is a voluntary service of the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Yes, you told us before, honey.
Agriculture's Consumer and Marketing Service, and almost all of the beef that you buy in the retail meat counter is graded for quality. Two, of using this versatile cut, let me show you where it comes from in a side of beef. The first cut...
that would be an idea to go ask the butcher. Can I get a prolapse cut of beef, please?
...of the blade chuck is right next to the rib. A very tender ribeye section in the rib extends into the front of the blade chuck. And you can see with these actual meat cuts, your rib, in this very tender ribeye section, where you get your tender, broilable ribeye steaks. And
I'm going to have to remix this. I feel a story. I feel like I got a remix idea in my head already.
Extends into this first part of the chuck.
Andy, you're so right, y'all. In the chat, Andy says, buy a counterfeit meat stamp and go to town, honey. Money, ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay, buy some cheap cuts and stamp those babies and sell them. Debbie's got a new job.
So in selecting this particular roast, that's what you want to ask for, the first cut of a blade chuck roast. Now, it's very easy to cut this. The first thing you want to do is simply remove the rib bone along the back side. You want to cut it as close.
Oh, she ain't playing with that knife, is she, honey? She's got a Freddy Krueger knife.
Close to the bone as possible. And then right next to the rib bone.
Then give that to the dog or the baby. If the baby's like a mutant, like, you know, in the seats of one of the boys.
Bone is this very tender ribeye section, and this is where you get your boneless, broilable, and very tender steaks. Follow the natural seam.
The natural seam.
And take out this very tender part.
That's a sharp knife, y'all. Lord, it's cutting through like butter.
Then let me turn this over and
oh, it made a little sound. Did y'all hear that? Listen, wait, we gotta rewind for a second. Listen.
Follow the natural seam.
Listen, y'all.
And take out this very tender part.
Listen.
Then let me turn this over and show you how it looks, just like that. Then you
Did y'all
simply
hear it?
Cut it in two for two thick, broilable, very tender ribeye steaks.
Oh.
Now this section of the roast, this is the less tender part of the
oh, so she's showing us how to cut the meat into steaks. Okay, I'm learning something.
The roast, and it can be prepared as a small pot roast, or you could cut it up into stew for stewing beef. Now with this entire cut, let me show you what I did very quickly. Took away the rib bone, cutting as close to the bone as possible.
Okay.
Then, following the natural seam, cut out the very tender ribeye section. Then this less tender part, this can be used for stewing beef or as a small
Or it could be used as a mask if you're into those kind of things.
Pot roast. Now, if you'd like more information on the how-to of using...
Hi, C. Cindy says these meats are from her family since we have never seen anyone in the kitchen that lasts 3 days. That explains why there's so much meat, Cindy.
Using this versatile cut or other cuts of beef, why not write...
Did she just scratch her butt? Oh my God, she did, y'all. Look. She scratched her booty. Y'all. She scratched her booty. Look.
The very tender ribeye section, then this less tender part, this can be used for stewing beef or as a small pot roast. Now, if you'd like more information...
Now, okay, so watch her, well, right arm to us, but it's her left arm, okay, to her, right? Okay, watch her right arm to us now.
On the how...
Thank you so much for that super chat, Sean. Thank you so much, honey. Mwah, mwah. You get a kissy from Debbie, honey. Don't sue me. It won't hold up in court. Really won't.
Two of using this versatile cut or...
Okay, now watch her right arm, y'all. Watch her right arm. She's about to go in for the scratch, y'all. I mean, think about it. She's got meat hands. She hasn't washed her hands one time. She's going in for a scratch. Deep diving, y'all.
Cuts of beef.
She goes. Here she goes.
What?
Look. What you doing, honey? What you doing, honey?
Not right.
Scratchy, scratchy. Look at that. Scratchy.
For this very convenient booklet.
See, they knew it too, so they cut the camera.
How to buy beef steaks and its companion.
Oh, this pamphlet. Yeah, I'm so tired of this pamphlet.
How to buy beef roast. Simply write to Agriculture TV, Washington, D.C., zip code 20250. So
I've
the
got
next
it
time
memorized.
you're shopping to please your family.
She's got a feminine itch now, it looks like.
You can also shop to please your pocketbook by buying this very versatile cut of the blade chuck roast.
Hello, Rhoda,
and then you can
honey.
enjoy good eating.
And you could do other things to those carrots, my lord. Let's get meaty with it. Meaty, 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 meaty. Meaty, 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 meaty. That's the meat song, y'all. Oh my Lord, I hope they're drinking a lot of water, because honey, she's gonna get what are those pea stones? What are those called? What are they called, y'all, from eating too much meat? They say you get those little stones. Kidney stones, y'all. She's gonna have the gout too, honey. Look at that meat on top of that garnish that always tastes so nasty. Who eats that? You know, some people eat that, y'all. I've seen people in restaurants and they'll put ranch on that and eat it. It's so nasty.
Beautiful, isn't it? You know, a steak like this should be labeled handle with care. And handle with care means just...
Handle with gloves and a mask, honey. That's raw. Cook that thing. It's bloody on the outside, honey.
The right amount of cooking, the right amount of time in the broiler or cooking over charcoal, and also just the right amount of seasoning.
She looks like Sporty Spice now. Melanie C., is that you, honey? This before the Spice Girls?
Well, the shield-shaped quality grade mark.
Oh, here we go.
USDA choice stamp on this sirloin steak speaks of a history of caring, because to qualify for the choice grade, this beef came from a young, well-fed and well-cared-for beef.
Welfare? What? What?
Beef animal. Also,
oh, and I was about to say, wait a minute, they're eating children. What in the world?
To qualify to be graded for quality, it first had...
Well, they got a spotlight on that beef, y'all. It's serious. Lighten up in there. We're talking James Charles lightning, y'all.
...to be inspected for wholesomeness.
She really thinks she's Jackie Kennedy with these costume changes, but she's getting bigger in each scene. I think she is pregnant. Or she's... Wait a minute, or she's just eating so much meat. And y'all, that salt shaker looks a little phallic looking over there. Look at that. That's weird. I'd be scared to touch that.
Now, this quality grade stamp represents a certain level of quality. Also, it assures you of buying consistent quality. And almost all the beef that you find in the retail meat case today is graded for quality. You see, grading is a voluntary service of the USDA's Consumer and Marketing Service.
Okay, good to know.
Well, this sirloin steak is USDA choice, but if I wanted to select a sirloin for a very special occasion, then I'd select the top quality grade, USDA Prime, a sirloin such as this one. And as I just mentioned, each one of these quality grades represents a distinct level of quality. Now, one other variation to the sirloin is this top sirloin. It's a boneless cut, and very often you'll find top sirloin merchandised in the meat counter just as you see it here. Also, it might be a little bit higher priced per pound. It's a very tender, very boneless cut, and it's one variation of the sirloin steak.
Rhoda, you said this reminds you of home ec. Honey, this don't remind me of my home ec. We were so poor in our school system, honey. We cooked pasta all the time. Boiling water and eggs and pasta. They didn't have no meat for us to cook. They couldn't afford it.
Now, one other point about selection of your steak. Be sure that you get it cut at least an inch thick, preferably 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches.
Here she goes with that little pencil.
This particular steak is 1.5 inches thick and as large as it...
I'd hate to be her husband. She pulls out that thing. Let me see it, honey. Let me see it.
It would easily serve 5 to 7 people. Now, if you had it
5 to 7 people? Not if I'm doing the keto diet. That's mine.
Cut, say, 2 inches thick, then it would serve up to 8 adults.
Kathy says, wow, she's a size queen, 1.5 inches.
And a sirloin...
Andy says she prefers it cut or uncut. Maybe she'll tell us, Andy.
Steak this size
Hello,
is
hole
certainly
again,
nice
honey.
for a very special dinner party, or if you're having a special family dinner, because it's such a nice, large, convenient size.
Now, she's going to say use the little grabbers, don't touch the meat, but we all know that's a lie because she's been touching all the meat since she started this. Girls, make sure y'all like this video, please.
Now, to broil the steak, you simply put it on the rack in your broiling pan.
A rack? We don't go there yet until the 90s, right?
And then be sure to judge the distance between the top of the steak, the surface, and your element of heat.
Okay.
Now, a steak like this is about
Or element of surprise.
1.5 inches thick, and we'd want about 3 inches between the top and the surface of
Hello,
heat.
Debbie, honey.
A good rule of thumb for every inch of thickness between the top of the steak and your source of heat. And now,
Andy says in the chat, honey, just slap 2 of these together and cook you up a juicy Lucy. Okay, Sarah, we'd go to town on this, y'all.
it's ready to go in the broiler.
Look at that electric oven. Oh, my Lord, nobody likes eyes anymore. But back then, I guess everybody liked them. She only broils her meat. She doesn't cook it on the stove or any other way. Oh, she had a smoke alarm go off. Did y'all hear that? Honey, you need to change your batteries. Girl, what are you wearing? Is that a skirt girdle dress?
The sirloin.
She looks like she's about to pass out. Honey, are you okay? Do we need to call 911 for you, hon? Why is she walking like that, like forward, like she's just about to fall? She's walking like Trump walks. Honey, something ain't right.
Sirloin is only one of many.
I think she's lost sense of her right arm. I'm serious, y'all. I'm worried for her. All this mean.
Tender and delicious steaks for broiling, and if you'd like more information
Oh, Lord, here we go with your pamphlet, honey.
on selecting
Tell us all about it, honey.
and preparing these steaks, write for the convenient booklet,
She hicked up. Yeah, she's drunk.
How to Buy
Honey, you know you got a problem when they pay you at a job when they pay you in vodka. Got a problem.
Beef Steaks. Simply write to Agriculture.
Yes, Wesley, and for everybody that's watching now, since I've got 58 of you girls watching, in 30 minutes, well, actually 29 minutes, once this ends, I'm going to take a little break to get myself together and set up for my next live. I'm going live in another 30 minutes. It's going to be a new stream, y'all. So stick around, refresh the page, go back to my YouTube channel, Church of Debra. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell and all that magic when you touch the bell, something about all notifications and all this drama. Just click the bell, okay? Click the bell and all notifications, something like that. But I'm going to be watching the Paris Hilton documentary, which is on YouTube. Now, obviously, I cannot show that video because they will take me down faster than, I don't know, somebody running on Fifth Avenue after Trump. But they'll take me down. So I'm going to watch it you're going to see one of my media rooms, my library that I like to call it, where I go to pray at night. But I'm going to be in there watching it on my TV, and I'm going to watch it doing live commentary. So what we're going to do is we're all going to load it up on the YouTube channel, on Paris Hilton's YouTube. I'll post the links, we'll walk through this for a second, and we'll push play at the same time. I'll do a little countdown, and I'll just be doing my live commentary over this, just like Beyond the Trailer does all the time on her channel. So I'm just giving you girls heads up if you want to watch the Paris Hilton documentary with me. A lot of people suggested it. I think it'll be fun. But now, anyways, back to the meat. Roll that wonderful beef footage and tell me about this pamphlet. I don't know where I could get one.
TV, Washington, D.C., zip code 20250. Now, after that steak is cooked, and of course seasoned after cooking.
Seasoned after cooking? Oh, honey, no, ma'am. We season before we cook it. That's what gives it flavor.
Then you want to garnish it.
Who seasons it after cooking? No, ma'am.
Properly. Make it very, very attractive.
Okay, honey, it's not going on Tinder, okay? Y'all don't listen to her. You don't have to put a little mini skirt and a cocktail hat on your meat to make it look attractive. It ain't going on Tinder, okay? You know what I'm saying? No, ma'am, okay?
And then this suggestion on serving, since there are several different sections to the sirloin, why not slice it in thin diagonal slices like this, and then serve a slice from the various sections to the people whom you're serving.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
And then always remember, steak time is pleasure time.
Oh, my God. Y'all, that's going on a shirt. Y'all, I'm making a new shirt. Steak time is pleasure time. Always remember, girls, steak time is pleasure time. Oh, my Lord. Who wrote this script? Oh, I'm dying. Y'all, I would pay to have this like as a behind the scenes movie. Like, picture like this lady getting the job, right? And like picture this is a movie around this, film being filmed. And like you could get like some really A-listers. I don't know, like Amy Adams could play this lady. And then that's like, she's like, I don't want to read that effing line. And he's like, do it, and it's all about the drama behind the camera. And she had to say, and remember, steak time is pleasure time. Things were so sexual back in the 70s, wasn't it? Like that song, you remember that song? You can get into it, step into it. Yeah, it's like a R&B song. Step into it, and then there's another one, to the front, to the side. And they talk about WAP. At least WAP has a good beat, some good lyrics.
My guests will really like that. A nice thick steak, sirloin steak, broiled to perfection.
No, you know who's going to play her, y'all? Oh, what is her name? Oh my God, Chloe Sevigny. Is that her name? Chloe Sevigny could so play her in the movie. Look at that lady. Look at that side profile. That is so Chloe. Y'all, tell me it ain't true. Oh my God, and who could we get to do it? Ryan Murphy could direct it, y'all. And Chloe Sevigny. Oh yes, honey. Oh, y'all, I'm writing the screenplay. I could barely write my name. I can barely write my name. She kind of does look like Elvis, doesn't she? Elvis in drag with those sideburns on the side. Is that Elvis in drag? Who knows? I don't know. It probably is. Elvis did a lot of drugs.
You can hardly go wrong anytime with any cut of steak. But there are...
Okay, so she stuck her dirty, meaty hands inside those.
other cuts of steak that are certainly...
Honey, I don't know how much more I can take at this steak.
...delectable for broiling, such as a porterhouse steak, or a nice thick T-bone steak, or a rib steak, the boneless ribeye. And then, of course, you have a strip loin steak or a nice filet mignon. There are all sorts of wonderful, broilable, very...
Clinched. I think Chloe's in the new Netflix show, Ratchet, or movie. Ratchet, isn't she? I think she is.
...tender steaks, and also very good for cooking over charcoal. In selecting these steaks, quality...
Oh my God, I forgot about Chloe being in Brown Bunny. Oh my God, that scene.
Quality is very, very important.
Talk about salty. Ugh.
And you have 3 quality grades to select from. USDA Prime, the very top of the line, the ultimate in quality. Then USDA Choice, which you find most often in the meat case of your supermarket.
That logo looks like 2 breasts at the bottom with cleavage, doesn't it? Man, design that.
And the 3rd, USDA Good. And each one...
Hello, Zissy, honey. How are you doing, honey?
...of these represents a distinct level of quality. And in buying by quality grade, of course, you're assured of consistent quality. Also, all the meat that is graded in the supermarket, this is done by voluntary service of the U.S.
Yes, we know, honey. You've told us before.
Department of Agriculture. So not all beef is graded. Now let's look at all of these beautiful steaks, such as this porterhouse. Very often people ask me, what is the best steak to buy? And I suggest a porterhouse because really they're 2 steaks in one. The small round section, the tenderloin, and then if you were to cut away the larger portion, you'd have a strip steak.
Oh, a strip. Okay, those are the ones you get at the strip club.
Let me show you like this. If you were to cut away the small round part, your filet mignon.
Okay, that's the filet. Filet on the runway, honey.
Tenderloin, and take away this large...
Oh, it looks like a gun. It's a meat gun.
Larger part, cut it away from the bone, a nice boneless strip steak. And of course, both...
And that bone in the middle is the shiv. You could take that in prison. Protect yourself.
Very, very tender for broiling. Now, just a note of interest on the porterhouse steak. Back in the New York of the 1800s, there was a Mr. Martin Morrison who had a restaurant called Porterhouse. And at his restaurant, he served porter, a dark brown beer. And then he highlighted his menu with a delicious, delectable beefsteak, which New Yorkers associated with the name porterhouse.
Okay, now it makes sense.
So the name stuck, and that's how we know porterhouse steak today. Now, very closely related to the...
Her brows are on point, and those are some good brows. I'm liking that high arch she's got. I love a high arch, y'all. Oh, gorgeous.
porterhouse
Very maleficent. You don't know if she's mean or nice. You just know she likes the meat.
is the T-bone steak. And the main difference between a T-bone steak and the porterhouse
It's got a T in it.
is the size of the tenderloin. It's much smaller in the T-bone, but you have the same shape of bone. Then also in the same family of steaks is the club steak.
Okay.
The tenderloin has disappeared, and you have this very large, tender loin eye section. This is a nice individual-sized steak for broiling. Then a sirloin steak, such as I'm cooking right now, this is a convenient large size for serving several people for a special family occasion or dinner guests. Then if your family likes a rib roast, they'll certainly like rib steak. If this were 2 ribs thick, it would be a roast. This is only 1 rib in thickness, certainly very tender for broiling or cooking over charcoal. And then the boneless ribeye steak, also perfect for broiling or cooking outdoors.
Okay.
So you really have quite a selection to make.
Oh, my Lord, she's actually wiping her hands. I'm shook.
Selecting any of these delectable steaks.
Yeah, she looks bigger in this scene. I think she really is. She's got to be pregnant.
Well, let's take a look at the sirloin and see how it's doing. Just beautiful. And if you'd like more information on the sirloin or any of these steaks that I've been talking about,
Here we go.
I'd suggest you write for this convenient booklet entitled How to Buy Beef Steaks. And you can obtain it by writing to Agriculture TV, Washington, D.C., zip code 20250. And in selecting the just right steak for your special occasion, remember that steak time is pleasure time.
Oh, it gets me every time. Gets me every time. Oh, Lord, it gets me every time. Steak time is pleasure time. Oh, my God, the meat never ends. It never ends.
For menu variety and a change of pace, your friends and family will welcome broiled lamb,
Yeah.
especially if you have nice, thick, juicy rib chops like these.
I don't like lamb. Ugh, that taste. Ugh, it's making me shiver just thinking about it.
You know, lamb is a pleasure to serve anytime, and any time could be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Wouldn't these nice, thick rib chops be good for a hearty, high-protein filled
You will, Bark?
breakfast?
Well, we got to make sure it's not copywritten first, I guess, because the USDA might own that slogan.
With such favorites as baked eggs,
Bark host, honey, wonderful designs. If anybody needs any type of designs out there, honey, you know who to go to, okay? Seriously.
hot English muffins, and maybe orange marmalade.
Orange marmalade?
Now, all of the lamb cuts
Ugh, it still doesn't have that horrible taste.
are very, very tender, and they're all suitable for broiling, for roasting, or pan broiling, as I'm doing with these rib chops. These rib chops are USDA choice in quality, and in buying by...
Sandy, no, honey. Oh, my Lord. The first time I had lamb, I couldn't finish it. I felt so bad because it was so expensive at the restaurant. I just wasn't for me, honey. No, ma'am, not this girl. I could... Fleeces white as snow. Tastes like sin in a basket.
Quality grade, you are assured of buying consistent quality. Or USDA Prime, the top of the line, assures you of the ultimate in quality.
Ultimate. Like the different models of iPhones.
In buying by quality grade, remember you're assured of consistent quality.
Oh, that outfit. Oh, my God, it's horrible.
And also buying high quality. Now, not all lamb is graded, since grading is a voluntary service of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, in selecting lamb, it's important also to select nice, thick cuts, at least 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches thick. Those rib chops that I'm cooking are 1.5 inches in thickness. Well, you have such an array of lamb cuts to select from also, all tender for broiling, roasting, or pan broiling, such as lamb arm chops.
Those look like little dolphins. Oh my God, this is...
or lamb blade chops. Then other favorites include these lamb rib chops, such as I'm cooking now.
It just looks horrible.
Or
Mary had a little lamb. She had a little lamb, and then this horse stole it and slaughtered it, and now she's cooking it for the USDA.
or favorites such as lamb loin.
But Mary's coming back, and Mary's Revenge coming out in 2021. Check your local theaters for more information.
Chops, sirloin chops, also leg steaks.
Hello, Donald,
and all
honey.
of these cuts are certainly suitable for broiling, pan broiling, or any of these would be suitable for roasting. Now, for an economy suggestion, let me suggest a leg of lamb. This is an entire leg with a sirloin on. Certainly
We gotta skip
complement
ahead.
lamb. Also, look for this.
Let's see what she's gonna do. I gotta get ready for the Paris movie. Yeah, lamb with oranges and I don't think it's gonna make it any better. Da 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 da, meaty, la da da da, meaty, and that was it, girls. All right, girls, thank y'all so much for coming tonight for this. And remember, in 14 minutes, I will be going live again on this channel, Church of Debra. So make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification, and remember to refresh your page. In 14 minutes, I'll be right back in my lovely boudoir, and we'll be watching the Paris Hilton documentary. And what you'll do is you'll load it up at the same time I do, and we'll hit play at the same time. I'll do a lovely countdown, and we'll watch it together, girls, because it's on YouTube, so everybody has access. All right, girls. Bye, Wesley, honey. If you can't make it, it's okay, girls. Catch you next time. But anyways, for the girls that can't make it, thank y'all so much for coming tonight. And thank you for that super chat, honey, from earlier. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that to me. You just make him a little heart. Just pitter-patter in my chest. All right, bye, girls. And for the girls that are sticking around, I'll see y'all shortly, okay? I gotta get myself together for ya. I don't even have time for outro music. I'm